Gentleman from Arizona, Mr. Biggs, for 5 minutes.
And what I want to say here is, before we get going, I want to say that it's odd to me that the intolerant demand tolerance, the uncivil demand civility, the intractable demand compromise, the impolite demand respectful behavior, those who hurl ad hominem attacks demand professional conduct from others, and sometimes even the lawless demand the rule of law. And so I think I've just been astonished by what some of the comments that have been directed to you personally and to the men and women of ICE and CBP today. I'm outraged by that, and it's unfortunate. I have spoken out of this hearing. I went and called some of my friends who are Border Patrol agents to say, what's going on? Anything new happened today? Well, a group of 64 was apprehended in southern Arizona last night. Another Border Patrol agent was attacked and assaulted by a Honduran who bit the agent, punched the agent in the stomach, and then assaulted them, split their head open with a rock. This is what we have at the border. It is a crisis. These agents, these men and women who go down to the border and defend us, they deserve respect and consideration, not hurled insults and just this absolute disrespect for what they do and the disrespect for the rule of law which we have in America. So I want to speak to asylum seekers in Mesa. So according to some news reports, more than 4,000 Central American people who entered the country illegally, who were not part of the caravan, who declared they were seeking asylum, were released by ICE into the Phoenix metro area between October 12th and November 30th. The report indicated that these people were released with ankle monitoring bracelets and paperwork. They were free to go anywhere they chose to go. My question regarding these 4,000 people being released into the Phoenix metro area is, do you know what type of vetting is done of these individuals before they are released into our communities?
Sir, this is an unfortunate consequence of capacity. As you know, with families under the Flores settlement, we can only hold them for 21 days. So unfortunately, they do have to be released. The difficulty with the ATD is we find that 30% of family members that have ATD cut them off. They abscond. So then we lose track. We have to then go find them. The other thing I would just say, as I mentioned before, is not only is it more expensive to use that than detention, but in fact, it lengthens the period substantially. So we go from 40 days to 1,300 days to be able to get them through the process.
Well, thanks. You anticipated my next question, which was, how long does it normally take for these folks to be processed? And I guess my question would be, how many of these people, I think the number I heard last week is that there's, I want to say roughly 700,000 of these people, folks that are running around that have court dates who have requested asylum, and how many of them abscond completely that drop off, we don't ever see them again?
So 40% we find do not file the application after they go through the initial credible fear process. So they're welcome into the United States. They never finish the application. They largely disappear unless we have the ability to detain them briefly, but with families, we don't. 31% are not present at their hearing. So after we schedule the date to give them the opportunity to receive the asylum they claim they need, they do not show for the court case. So it's a difficult situation. We want to protect those who legitimately need asylum, but we need to cut back on the fraud and the others who misunderstand our laws so that we can protect vulnerable populations, but that we can also protect American communities.
So, different topic. CBP set a goal for 2018 to have biometric exit in at least one airport. Is working with airlines and airports on strategies to use these public-private partnerships to reduce costs and give industry more control over how a biometric exit capability is implemented at airport gates. And I'm wondering, what is the status of implementation of the biometric exit?
So we expect to have exit fully implemented at all airports in 4 years. We have a strategy for the land border, and we have a public-private partnership with the cruise lines so that we can also do it in the maritime domain.
Great. And last thing is, I hope to be able to meet with you because I have loads more questions and I'm out of time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Chair recognizes the gentleman